I'm an anesthesiologist, critical care specialist, and a pain management specialist, but I'm more attracted to pain management because of what I've seen patients go through, especially post-surgery, and also patients with chronic back pain who do not have the alternative of surgery. And it can be debilitating, especially for people who are supposed to be productive in the society. It can actually hold them back, what we call in Somali, "Qeyrka karreebita." So pain is both like three ways. We can divide into neuropathic, psychogenic, and also physical pain. So as much as people try to manage pain using physically through drugs and exercise, there's a psychogenic aspect that people do not appreciate,
About
which is
pain.
which usually is because of long-term like firing of the nerves that changes the brain setup. And that needs now someone who is actually equipped to handle both the physical aspect through drugs and different kinds of management, like now nerve blocks, which we used to have. We used to have electrical stimulation through the nerves, and now finally we have come to laser therapy. But now we need someone who is involved with the psyche part so that someone can actually accept that they're actually getting better, even if they are getting the medication. Sometimes it can take them round and round.
Okay.
Because you're used to this pain, let's say for more than 3 months. If you become used to it,
You become used to the medication?
no. If you become used to pain for more than 3 months, it creates a nerve imprint in your brain. Like it creates an imprint.
Yes,
and that
a pathway, like
a pathway, neural pathway. So it needs a rewiring through both psychotherapy and also different modalities of drugs, so that you can rewire the brain to think otherwise, that you no longer have the pain.
Like the phantom
limb
pain
yeah.
phenomenon.
It's interesting, by the
Okay.
way, because of that now.
Do people recover from phantom pain?
Yeah, you can. By the very simple things, like putting a mirror next to the leg and telling the patient, like, you see how your leg is actually good, and then that actually registers in the person's brain, because they're used to their leg being cancerous, they're used to their leg being, and then it becomes a wiring issue, not a personality issue. People will think actually it's a personality issue, but it causes such stressful response in the brain that it actually rewires someone's brain. So the person actually becomes very irritable. They cannot handle even small issues. And then someone will just say, this person is not.
If ebu case moja ya pain management yenye mpaka leo, the patient, I'm sure they call you and tell you, Daktari, thank you, my quality of life may improve.
I'll share an example. There was a teacher from Garissa who we had multiple surgeries done for him in the spine, and then 4 levels, and then eventually ended up having hip surgery because of the way he was standing. Because you end up becoming dependent on one side because of the pain on one side is more than the other one. So once you start walking like that, the hip and the knee, not the both sides, but different sides. So
there's different weight distribution, Sasa.
Yes. And then he had hip surgery. He ended up not being able to move the way he used to move. And he was someone who was involved in the community and everything. So eventually, not even able to move kabisa kutoka bed. So we had him, I called him, that's the first person I called, because I knew exactly what he was going through his journey since the first surgery that we done on the C-spine. So he accepted it. We did 12 sessions of laser therapy. We started him on management through dietary changes, because he was also diabetic. You take the body from pro-inflammatory to non-inflammatory. So vegetarian diet, you tell him to drink more water with alkaline. Maybe you add lemon in the morning, and then you tell him to do activities that are less training. For example, swimming or hydrotherapy really improves the person's outcome instead of weight bearing, like the gym and going for run and stuff like that. You can tell them to go for walks, and that actually improved him. So the first session that we had after the laser therapy, he walked out of the room without any sticks, and he was working with both sticks. So they can be rebound pain because like I said, every pain starts from here, but it goes to the brain and creates an imprint. So the first session that you can have what we call rebound pain the next day because of firing, like rapid firing from the brain, because it's used to that level of nerve stimulation through the spine. It gives it back as a reflex because
Okay.
it was continuous. Remember, the pain
Yeah.
was continuous. So where even if you don't have the pain here, you have a like massive response from the brain because it's trying to cover up whatever it missed for a very long time. The non-pain. So the first day after, someone can go into rebound pain, like massive feeling of that pain, depending on now the stimulation, that the level of stimulation the pain had in the first place. And it's like any electrical nerve impulse. The voltage depends on the amount of response you have in that nerve. So the more the stimulation or the more the voltage, the higher it registers in the brain.
Okay.
And the greater imprint you have in the brain.
And the more the scale of the pain.
Yes.
So if someone has been having chronic pain for a very long time, there's usually a pain scale. That's what I knew before this new laser and these other modalities of pain management. How you treat pain would be through medication.
Yes.
And you'd start someone from the least all the way to the top.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of potentials with addiction to some of those medications in that list.
Yeah.
So if I'm someone who has had chronic pain for the longest time ever, and I'm addicted to this medication, how are you able to remove me from addiction to that one medication while managing my pain to now be being pain-free, and also now my mind is set free?
So the good thing with the new modalities, like now the laser therapy, is the first imprint that you have, like the first time you come, where the source of the pain is, it's directed there. The light, it's like a light therapy. So it's a red light. It has two rays, and it goes directly. It's about 2,000 hertz. Once it goes into the tissue, it opens up the channels from nitrous oxide to oxygen, and that now allows for circulation to happen. Oxygenation happens, blood flow improves, and in that way, the patient actually gets immediate relief. You know, once tissue is oxygenated, it actually gets relief because the toxins come out. So you get immediate relief. But now you have to continue, especially with the laser therapy and also things like now local anti-inflammatories, because all the tissues are becoming stimulated all over again. And it actually has up to collagen production all the way to stem cell generation once you continue up to 6 sessions. Because now the body is aware there's a place that has been unlocked. Because the nitrous oxide, it's like it blocks the channels and you have a chronic pain. And once it blocks, by the way, it takes a very long time before, unless you go into serious fasting periods. What I can give you is it's a shortcut to life, technically speaking.
Okay. That's a bold statement.
Yeah, it's a shortcut to life, because look at it this way. Whatever the medications are doing for you, you're doing it for yourself from your own stem cells.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and once people actually go all the way to America to do stem cell injection, and they still don't get better because it's not your brain and it's not your body that's responding to this. The difference is once you induce with the laser, it's a constant circulation. The body's aware now you have a problem somewhere. So it activates that cycle of producing more stem cells to recover, early recovery. And the best part is people who fast actually get that also. If you fast for 5 days on a vegetarian diet, you can actually get stem cell generation.
On a vegetarian diet?
Vegetarian diet, just juicing too.
Okay.
5 days, you can get stem cell generation. You might be hungry for the first 3 days.
Yes.
But what the beautiful part is, once you remove your body, the toxins, which is the inflammatory factors, now the body actually goes and looks for where the problems is, where there's another problem. That is how now your healing happens through fasting.
Okay.
It's magical. By the way.
I tried 5 days, but at the end of now we tried 5 days water fasting, but the next one I want to do with juicing now.
Oh. So juicing is actually better because look at it this way: the vegetables are actually alkaline. They change your body from acidic to alkaline.
Okay.
And that is how the body heals, through alkaline,
in an
not
alkaline
acidic.
environment.
Any sugar, any unga we take, anything that is producing glucose on the fast metabolism, it actually puts the body into rest mode, like you go easy on yourself. But now when you involve the body on generating its own energy from its own muscles and proteins and all of that, what you get is actually the body starts to look for the places that have these sources of,
where it can get energy.
Yeah, where it can get energy. And the first place it goes for is clearance of the things that are toxic to your body, technically speaking. Yeah.
So like you said, alkaline diet.
So alkaline diet actually improves on inflammation. You actually get better. Any knee pain, if you have
example, so if I was to go on a 5-day fast with alkaline diet, how would my breakfast look like? How would my dinner?
You don't have to have a breakfast, dinner. You can just carry your juice by the whole day. You just feed the body the juice and the intestines.
I'm getting a juicing machine.
Yeah, you don't have to juice, but all you have to do is just do vegetarian diet. It doesn't have to be juice on it. It has to be, like, you can eat your carrot just the way it is. You can eat your cucumber just the way it is, or you can make a juice out of it. You can add your small greens, and all of those things now accumulatively. I cannot tell you amount to it because everyone has a different stomach size. But you can eat as much as possible. That's the best part
true.
of it. That's the best part of it.
True. Like, you can eat as much as you want and you never going to get satisfied.
Yeah, and then you're also changing your body. Because maximum absorption means maximum juicing. So all these things, you will excrete what you don't want, but you will reuse the vegetables because that's what you need for early digestion. But the liver becomes detoxified. The kidneys actually start to clear faster. And then once you are not concentrating on the glucose rise, your body now you start to think clearer. There's no noise about food. After the third day, but there's no noise about food. Because what causes in our brain, especially women, it's what am I going to eat in the next meal? But once you're not thinking about that, you just automatically concentrate on the things that your body needs. And I think that's why fasting is prescribed in Islam, because you become less...
What of people who are having previous chronic conditions, like if I was diabetic before, and then I go on a juicing diet, I'm sure like my body's going to have a very hard time adjusting to...
Very hard time, yeah. So, and actually that's why we have juicing specifically for patients with diabetic. So if you take like what we provide, the aloe vera juice, it actually raises your glucose, but not in the way that you'll think. It's the aloe vera that goes in and detoxifies your intestines. And then in that way, your body feels like it has to produce its own sugar. Unlike if you tell them to just go and fast.
Okay. Yeah. So also you substitute, you at least put something in the stomach.
And it cleanses, and whatever is being absorbed is just the micronutrients that you actually need. And nowadays, I think, there's that statement, tutafika mahali, we'll just be taking one meal and then supplementation. Because all the diet that we take nowadays, you don't actually get what you need out of it because the soil is poor. If the soil is poor, even if you eat 10 mangoes, you might not get, if you could get one supplement that replaces all of those things. It's better than eating 10 meals a day that have no contribution towards your body.
You said on this issue of supplementation and pain management, are there supplements that are specifically good for pain?
Yes. So, for example, magnesium. Magnesium is a very good muscle relaxant. If you have vitamin D added on top, most of us lack vitamin D because our skin is not maximum absorbing, and then we don't stay in the sun as much. And then as women, actually it's even worse when you're covering up. All those things contribute on lack of vitamin D, and lack of vitamin D, joint pain, all these things come, right? So magnesium causes muscle relaxation, brain rewiring as well, and also cardiovascular wise, it improves blood pressure and all of those. And then the third thing is potassium. Eating bananas.
Eating bananas.
Or very ripe bananas.
Okay.
It's actually good for, especially if you go to the gym and stuff, because you go through a lot of breakdown of muscles. So balancing that. And then what else can I think about right now?
In terms of supplements, because
for pain management,
specifically for pain, right? Because I don't think that even I as a medical professional, when I'm trying to even manage patients, I feel guilty prescribing 5, 6, 7.
No. But then you don't need a lot
guilty,
of prescription.
but like you'd see majority of the times, a bunch
you
of
have
prescriptions.
to do neuromodulation. You have to do this and this and this. So what I have discovered, especially since I started laser therapy, the only thing I needed to add was a neuropathic medication. So the patient was on diabetic medications, antihypertensives, so you don't want to add the drug burden on them because they will interfere with each other at the end of the day, whether you will like it or not. So I gave them the magnesium supplementation, definitely. And then you tell them at home now, take anti-inflammatory products that are herbalistic instead of. So you take tea with turmeric instead of
tea alone.
And then you take things like cloves, overnight cloves. Overnight cloves. That's a very good anti-inflammatory as well. And you're hydrating your body as well. And then you take walks in the sun in the morning and the evening. So instead of giving them the drugs, I was giving them alternatives.
To the drugs
itself. And then, the good thing with supplementation with normal diet is your body will just absorb what it wants. The rest is just goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Compared to
So I wasn't even giving Panadol. Even Panadol I wasn't giving. I didn't add anything except maybe amitriptyline because you need a neuropathic thing to manage the psychogenic aspect to cut off that neural pathway, what you call in the brain, for example. If they were not able to sleep, now they're able to sleep because lack of sleep actually makes the cortisol level higher and then inflammation worse.
Definitely, because it's very hard for people with pain to sleep.
And in that way, you take care of the relaxation and as well as not being able to sleep. Because once you're cutting off the neuropathic part, but it's very hard for someone who has a background of anxiety or depression to manage their pain because they will want to use that pain to attract the attention they're getting. I've seen, especially with women, it's so funny. I'm a woman. It's so weird. I've seen people, I want to help, you want to help, you tell them there's this option, but they don't even want to come out of the house. And then you go and actually talk at home and you talk to them because you have to take them out of that state of, I'm using this pain to attract the attention of my children and my husband. Because if they don't have pain, no one will look at them. It's so easy to actually get lost in it. And then you actually tell them, if you can go to the toilet by yourself, but if someone wants to use that, I realize it's very hard to manage their pain. So you have to explore
how do you
the psychogenic aspect of their pain. This is now where it comes from. Hysteria, where hysteria comes in. Have you seen these girls when they're taken to high school, boarding school, and they don't like, they end up fainting?
Hysteria.
Yeah. It's part of hysteria.
You used to think it's possession. It's
There's a spiritual aspect to it for sure, because not all girls do that. But it's definitely a way of someone asking for attention. And the best way to do is just explore, like talk to them. How are your children doing? Like if some other, if she's a young girl, for example, in her 20s, like, is she even happy at her job or the school that she's in, the course she's taking? If you explore that, you actually find out, like, this person does not even like what they're doing. Even cramps, even cramping, by the way. It's so easy to
manage, because I know a lot of girls or women who are suffering from dysmenorrhea, which is like extremely painful and periods. And sometimes it's so painful in that they cannot do their daily activities. So this laser therapy and this pain management or modalities that are existing, from your point of view as an experienced pain specialist and an anesthesiologist who's helped people recover, how are you going to, does this modality like juicing, fasting, the supplements you talked about, do they work with dysmenorrhea?
Definitely they work. You know why? Most of the pain from dysmenorrhea is hormonal imbalance, if you look at it. And hormonal imbalance comes from what? Either it's central, at the side, the uterus, the thyroid,
the HPA axis,
at the adrenal glands. So if you look at it, is first of all, as we go up, it's either PCOS, dysmenorrhea, or just dysmenorrhea equal. And then there's also what do you call the one for deposits of endometriosis. So all of these things, as I'm coming to figure out, because I have seen the biological aspect, right? Then there's also psychogenic aspect. There's that disconnection from being a woman, technically speaking. By the way, if we look at the traditional sense, we never used to have pain.
Okay.
We never used to have pain.
Okay.
Like, even bathing was easier than it is now. So, and if you look at it, lack of movement.
Oh, God.
Lack of movement. Lack of movement. We're nomads, especially among Somalis.
Yeah.
Look at it. We're nomads. Lack of movement, lack of actually making your body work. So one of the things that really helps me and my friends when I'm advising them is Pilates or yoga, movement. Especially the cow position, that thing. Once you move this back, without even the laser therapy, it actually goes down. Because you're relaxing the muscle, breathing in and out, you're oxygenating the uterus, you're increasing oxygenation. But now if you get the back pain and then you just stay lying around, actually the pain becomes worse. Funny enough. So lack of movement, diet. I said, what we take most of the time is pro-inflammatory. It's not anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's take from the chocolates they take, the milkshake. I used to be like that. So I will not blame anyone if they do that. It's a comfort food.
When you said lack of movement, like everything right now has been engineered to being in one position.
Yes.
Everything is at our comfort.
Yeah.
You sit well, you sleep with like on cushioned platforms.
Nowadays, I'm so happy to come out of the house every day, by the way. Like, even right now, I'm in the last stages of my cycle, the 4th week, right? I had a bit of pain in the morning, like, that background pain.
Yeah.
But I was like, sikuje tu kitu, alafu I can go out. But it didn't let me stay in bed. Before, I would cancel everything.
You'd make it an excuse.
Hey, today, I'm catching the watch series. Actually, that was the word, watching series for 3 days. I didn't use an excuse. No, like now, I come out, I get to exercise first of all. I get to shower properly with cold water. Before it was warm water.
Warm water.
Now it's cold water. Now that actually shock therapy. It's a shock therapy, right? Not cold, but at least lukewarm, normal, not the heat that I used to use before. Before it was like turn it down, super hot. You feel comfortable. You stay more than 10 minutes in the shower actually, and then unaongeza electricity kwa watu ya nyumba ya watu.
Let me ask you a question as a pain specialist. Why do girls shower with extremely hot water?
It's comforting. Oh, I actually told my brother this. He was like, wacha zako. It's actually a form of hug.
Okay.
It actually improves your oxytocin.
Extremely hot water.
Yes. It's actually like the more you are taking the shower, it's the more you are lonely. It's actually correlated.
The more you're taking the shower.
I was actually like that, so I'll tell you the truth.
Wait, repeat this. The more you're taking the shower, the more lonely you are.
It's like a hug, a physical hug from someone. That's what it does to your body.
Wow.
But now, it does harm to your skin. You see, not everything is 100%. Yes, you're looking for that comfort, unaenda kulala alafu afterwards, but it harms your skin. The hot water actually.
Hot water.
Now I don't get blackouts, I don't get all these things.
Okay.
And then dry skin.
Okay.
Now I can come out without lotion. There was a time I couldn't come out without lotion. Because dry, scaly skin, because you burnt the skin. So, as I was saying, diet, that's a very major problem amongst the Somali community. Anjera, pasta, hizi unga yote by the way haitusaidii.
And there is no tunawekanga yeast.
Haitusaidii. Imefika mahali now, I cannot take anything that is not required in my body. Everything has, I'm saying allergy, but it's not allergy. It's not what you're supposed to take, full stop. That's it. We're not supposed to take the thing. Mandazi, sijui nini.
Chapati. Keki.
Yo, chapati. I even said I'm never cooking for anyone chapati. Now I have a good excuse. Go and take it from the hotel. Actually, it's better because I realize now if I take anything that I'm not supposed to take, my body reacts. From my face, I don't sleep at night. It's like a direct link between as I get healthier, alhamdulillah, the more I feel better actually to wake up, to join the world. And, so I came out, exercised, showered, took my time playing with my niece and nephew. And then was able to get into the car, do my istighfar. You see, the old me, all those things would just be in bed, series, as an excuse to order for milkshakes, the cake. What to do?
It was a very huge total lifestyle change for you.
Very big, by the way. Like, actually, I don't miss those things. That's the word, the craving imeisha. So I think all of them are related. The long showers, the loneliness, and the milkshake. Now I can't take a milkshake, by the way. Even a cup, I can't take it.
So let's look at today. Let's look at today or yesterday. Let's look at yesterday. Like, what did you have as your meals during the day?
Oh, I'm happy to talk about it. In the morning, I take uji, oats, with either banana cut or just oats and honey. That's it. With a cup of tea. And then I went to work around 11. I had a case. And then around 1, I came out, prayed. I took some black tea with no sugar. Then I went back in, came out around I think 2:30 to come and eat beef and rice. Kidogo. Rice was a little less, but the beef and the vegetables were more. It was really nice. Hospital food is actually the best, by the way. Nowadays, for me, people will see that as toxic, but now I think that tasteless food is the best.
Okay, like zero spice.
Zero spice, just boiled and, with the rice. Rice is very good. Don't change rice, by the way.
Okay.
For whatever reason, don't change rice. It's very good.
Just plain white rice.
Yes. And then in the evening, I had pilau with chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. around 5. Because the lunch was not that big. But on a normal day, I take the uji in the morning with a bit of maybe eggs, or if I can, or sausages if I can.
So you will not demonize carbohydrates?
No. The type of carbohydrate matters.
Okay.
The type of carbohydrate. Unga is toxic, by the way. I don't know why, but to my body, it reacts nowadays.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, unless it's fermented unga. So my stomach doesn't react to anything fermented.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the upcoming a series of like how to manage your pain and how to change, stop using pain as an excuse to to having a productive life. Because definitely, if you have,
it can make you unproductive.
yes, definitely, it's going to make you very unproductive.
Yeah.
So to
uneditable. There was once I was attacking everyone on Twitter, and people will wonder why is this time. But you are in pain. You are in pain. It actually shows. Okay. And then someone will meet you on a good day, and then they're like, "Hey, you really sound bad on Twitter." Oh, like I'm a nice person.
To the camera, this.
My name is Dr. Khadija Ahmed. I'm an anesthesiologist by profession, a critical care specialist, and a pain specialist. Very much involved with pain management because it's something that I have recovered from fully. And I'm glad to share myself and my journey with people, and in that way help everyone to come out of their pain as well.
Thank you very much, Daktari.
Right.